Today I'm leaving Zion National Park and starting the long drive home to Florida. I'll definitely be photographing at locations all along the way, so you'll want to watch till the end. This will be the final episode of my fall 2020 trip to the Southwest. I had an amazing 13 days in Zion and enjoyed photographing in locations throughout the park. If you followed along for any of the previous 19 episodes of the trip, thank you so much for following along on my journey. Here's one image I made on my way out of Zion. I always try to keep an eye out for backlit trees against glowing cliffs, and this location is one I spotted last year and noted the time and day when the conditions were ideal so I could return this year to give it a try. Once leaving Zion, I headed across the Hopi and Navajo reservations of northern Arizona with the goal of my first night being Gallup, New Mexico. Not long after entering the reservation, I noticed the winds picking up and stormy clouds filling the sky. Near Kayenta, Arizona, I came across a sculpted sandstone formation with interesting clouds that seemed to call out for a black and white treatment. Not much farther down the road came the well-known volcanic formation called Church Rock. Just south of Monument Valley, I've photographed here before, and the clouds were so unique that I thought a panoramic treatment was in order. Continuing on towards New Mexico, the conditions deteriorated considerably. This video might not fully show how I was barely able to keep the Jeep on the road due to the gusty winds and the blowing sand that reduced the visibility to zero at times. As it turned out, this was the leading edge of a major winter storm that would severely impact the whole region for days. Not long after arriving in Gallup, it started to snow, and eventually the interstates were closed and only emergency travel was recommended. I made the decision to stay in the hotel and off the roads until the storm cleared. Finally, 3 days later, I was able to continue my trip home. The snow doesn't look like much now, but the TV news over the past several days was filled with stories of crashes, pile-ups, whiteout conditions, and overall difficult travel. I'm glad I stayed off the roads and out of that mess. Not long after entering Texas, the snow melted away and the weather turned nice. I had another full day of driving before arriving at the final photographic destination of the trip. Well, I made it back to the beautiful Caddo Lake State Park here in East Texas, and I'm on my way home from my fall trip to the Southwest. But since I drive right by this spot, I wanted to come visit again. I was here a couple of years ago with some friends and had a beautiful 3 days here photographing at this spot and other areas around Caddo Lake, and was using my digital camera then, my Pentax medium format, and got some wonderful images that I really love. But now I'm shooting film again, and so I thought it'd be fun to come back here and see if I could expose some film in this spot. The conditions are nice. They're not exactly the same as they were a couple of years ago, maybe not quite as nice, but anyway, we'll see. I have tonight as the sun's going down here, and then tomorrow morning. So we'll see what I can get, but it's a really beautiful spot. I'm out on this fishing pier, and you can shoot almost 360 degrees at these beautiful cypress trees. So I've got a few more compositions to work on, still this afternoon before the sun is gone, and or before the light is gone. The sun is mostly off the subjects now, which is what I want. It's really fun to be back here and see how the place has changed a little bit, and it's nice to have this pier all to myself. It kind of bounces a little bit if there's a lot of people on it, so it's really nice to have no one here, because I'm already into the about 8 seconds for Velvia right now, and that's just going to get nothing but longer as the night progresses. So I definitely need everything to be still. I'm going to keep working here and see what else I can find. I made this first image while there was still sunlight on the trees for the reflection. The lily pads held still, and the Velvia did a nice job accentuating the colors. This is actually the first subject that captured my attention upon arriving. I really liked how that single cypress had the fall color, set among the others that were more bare and had the cool blue-gray look. I thought that contrast was really striking. The Velvia 50 accentuates the blue light from the sky, so I toned it down and adjusted things to be more like I perceived them standing in front of this beautiful scene. Here's proof that you can do large format wildlife photography, as long as you have a very cooperative subject like this great blue heron. I used Provia here, hoping for the shortest shutter speed possible to prevent any motion of the bird. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm here about an hour before sunrise, back here at Caddo Lake State Park. And I'm out on the fishing pier, and I really figured there might be more photographers here at this point, but I kind of wanted to stake out my spot, and I'm not sure how quickly things are going to happen here. I mean, if sunrise is an hour from now, I mean, once the sun clears the horizon, I think it's going to get in on the trees pretty quickly here. So I want to photograph during that quiet light before the sun hits anything. So anyway, we'll see how quickly things happen, but it was nice here last night after the sun went down, and there's a lot of nice photographs to be made here. So anyway, I'm here waiting for it to get light, and I'm going to get set up here pretty soon, and we'll see what happens. It was really nice witnessing this area coming to life, emerging from total darkness as the sun rose. I think it must be a common occurrence here this time of year to have fog, because we had it every morning on my last trip too, and we got a nice fog again this time. With that beautiful fog, I retried this image from the night before, but ended up liking the cooler image from the previous evening much better. I tried a few other compositions with the fog, but a number of the things I tried weren't that strong, and honestly, it was a bit tough working that quickly with the view camera in rapidly changing conditions. I'm particularly fond of this grouping of trees and this general composition, so I spent a lot of time working on it in different lighting conditions. First in nice soft light before the sun hit the scene. And as you can see, another bird in this image. Then, once the sun filtered through the fog, it was much more dynamic. Finally, I thought it might look nice in black and white, and I really do like this version. Well, it was a pretty amazing morning. It just kept getting better and better. The light was wonderful. Of course, we had nice fog, which was great, and just really pretty light, which lasted longer than I thought it would. I exposed so much film, but I didn't have time to actually record anything while it was happening. But gosh, it was just such a nice morning, and really looking forward to getting the film back and hoping we get something good to show you. This is definitely where a long lens is helpful. My longest is a 450, which is roughly equivalent to a 150 in terms of a full-frame camera. I would have liked a longer lens for more compositional choices, since in this situation you can't move any closer to the trees. But overall, I'm quite happy with the images I got from just a few hours spent one evening and one morning. If you're interested to see what I got last time I was here, I'll leave a link down below to my web gallery from that previous trip. A small group of those images was also published by LensWork in their Seeing in Sixes book project from 2017, also linked below. By the way, this is where I met Chris Byrne. If you don't know Chris, he's a very talented photographer and he teaches workshops all over, so you should definitely check him out. I'll put a link here and in the description below. Anyway, that's it for Caddo Lake, and actually that's it for my fall trip. I'm heading home today, and I got a bit of a long drive, but anyway, it'd be nice to be home after being gone for a month. So thanks so much for watching this episode and all the episodes from my fall trip. I really hope you enjoyed them, and I'll see you on the next one.